crypto.
All right, this is Toe-to-Toe episode 66.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? 66? Yes, 66. All right. Welcome to another episode of Toe-to-Toe. What's up, Jim Mertlin?
Hey, Monica Weekly. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Super duper.
All right, good. Well, listen, I'm glad you guys are back. We've got a good topic for today. A great topic, I might add.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Toe-to-Toe. Today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this question. Should you let the listing agent show your buyer the house? Should you let your buyer go to listing because you can't go? And should you let, pull in a favor by the listing agent? Is that ever okay? Jen Mertlin, what say you?
Oh, yeah. Well,
this isn't a clear yes or no like normal.
I mean, okay, look, I'm normally the listing agent. I don't mind.
Of course you don't. Yeah, that's like asking the devil the question. No.
Let's calm down. I'm an angel.
All right. So you think it's okay?
I think it's okay, right? Like, I guess my answer is yes, it's okay to do it. I think there are circumstances. A lot of people say like, no. What are you?
I'm a no. It's not okay.
Oh, please.
No, it's not okay. Okay, well, I can do that. So I'm not saying there aren't circumstances where you can't accompany your buyer to a house. However, we have representation for a reason. You don't walk into a courtroom and you're accused of a crime and you say, "Oh, I'll just take the prosecuting attorney." They're
not even the same thing. But first, should we define your buyer?
It's called fiduciary responsibility, and you send your client into the other team's fiduciary, and if your client says something that puts them at a disadvantage, then you're not properly representing them. My solution to that is you should get somebody from your brokerage or a friend from another brokerage or somebody that is representing their best interest on your behalf.
It's not the listing agent.
Not the lion's den. We know
I see your point for sure. But here, let me give you some circumstances.
Okay.
Well, first, I want to define your buyer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I hate it. First of all, I hate it when they say like your buyer, my buyer. That's dumb. They're not yours. You don't own them. Yes.
The buyer I'm representing.
There you go. Which is also too long. I don't know. There's probably like something else, right? But like a lead is not a buyer.
Tell me more.
Oh my God.
Tell me more. Define the two.
A lead is just like maybe a sign call or something like that. Like you've never met them. You haven't had a buyer consultation with them. And I know we got in a big fight about doing a buyer consultation or first and before you ever show a house, which is the right way, or the wrong way and giving them like a little freebie, which is what you do.
I do. I give them a freebie.
But I'm saying like a buyer that you're representing is somebody you have done a consultation with, asked questions, understand their finances. You've looked at their pre-approval letter, pre-qual letter. Like, you know who the hell they are.
Okay. Likely they should have signed a consumer guide, right? To agency,
and an agreement to work with you.
Right. And a exclusive buyer's agency agreement.
Get it signed, people.
Yeah.
Get it signed. Okay. So let's assume that they have done that and I'm the listing agent.
Yeah.
This is the circumstances where I've shown. We had like 100, I'm exaggerating, but like so many showings. And it was just like so dumb for all these people to be here. It's like, I'm here anyway. It's basically an open house. What about that?
So here's my problem with that. And I'm not saying, and maybe 85% of the time, this is not a problem, but you just don't know. So my buyer walks in and you're showing them the house and they're walking around the house and you're really freaking good at your job and you're asking them questions.
Yes, I am. All the questions.
That's right. And the buyer slips up and says something about their financial situation. Oh, they will. And it gives you some insight into their situation that maybe causes you to hesitate. Should you be in multiples or, just in general, take these buyers serious if a contract should come through. And that doesn't mean that we lie to you. That just means we need to position the buyer based on, our criteria, whether they're solid or not. You don't need the behind the scenes insight here. You probably would never sell the house, quite frankly. If the listing agent ever knew all the behind the scenes, I don't know if it would ever happen.
Well, or they would get more for the house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your point is valid. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Have I ever sent a buyer that I was well, I don't really represent that many buyers, but no, I've never sent them to the listing agent, but I have shown many agents.
Agents are doing it. Doing it. Yeah. Here's my point. It shouldn't be your first go-to.
Okay.
I don't think that's your second best option. Your best option is to find an agent friend of yours that you guys do this for each other. I pay, depending on where it is, I'll pay anywhere between $25 and $50 an hour for somebody to go open a door for me.
Yeah, but I think see, that's the problem with opening doors and stuff. And maybe this is I don't know if this is another podcast. Do you hire a buyer's agent or showing assistant? Or
we did showing assistant.
We did do. Oh, well, I think it depends on where you are in your business. Let's say you're newer, you're doing let's say you're doing, even if you're doing under 6 million, but you don't have a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be somebody or a certain number of units, however you want to do it, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be somebody else that's similar to you. Their skill set is similar. I would want that person, if I'm on vacation, I would want them showing the buyer because they're going to be more skilled in getting that buyer under contract while I'm gone. I don't just want to show it to have some random showing assistant showing it. They need to be a skilled person.
Yeah. I mean, I've used newer agents. Just because they don't have the experience doesn't mean they're not able to execute on what I need from them in that moment, which is to be on time, greet them professionally, actually open the door, let them see the house, answer any questions that are obvious on the MLS, write down any notes of anything I need to know. I think they can be professional without being, having a level of expertise. And in most cases, that's what I need. Now, if they like the house, I have a decision to make, and that is whether or not to run over there and get to see the house so that I can see what we need to be asking for and what, is.
But a lot of times it's you're out of town. It's not just you're painting your toenails, right?
And then you work closely with that agent as your feet on the ground to, make sure.
But they could FaceTime you too, while they're there.
Yeah, that's another option that's happening a lot these days. Mm-hmm. You're right. That's a good other.
It depends on what the situation is and why you are not able to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I just think it should not, maybe it's your last ditch effort is that the listing agent, just because.
Well, and in some markets, the listing agent's there at all the showings.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
That's dumb. I hate that.
That would be exhausting.
It's annoying. Well, the problem is so I get it. The buyer's agent has likely never been in the house before, right? Yeah. But this is why we communicate up front, which we talked about. Call the buyer's agent before, find out a little bit about their buyers so you can point out the features and benefits that their client is going to like or be interested in or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not going to find all this stuff.
Are going to do this? Please be sure to prep your buyer on what to talk about and what not to talk about in the house.
Have the listing agent
with the other agent. Yeah.
What?
I just think
don't answer all my questions.
Finances. Yeah. Don't give them any background. Don't tell them that you're a protected class or I don't know. Just don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it.
What should you say? Okay. So let's do a little so I'm the listing agent. You're sending your client over.
Okay.
And I'm going to be asking questions, right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to tell your client to tell me when I start asking questions? Because they're not going to want to be rude.
I'm going to say, look, I know Jennifer Mertland. She's a freaking shark. And she's going to want to know everything about you so that she can tell her clients. Yeah. And look, part of positioning and me being able to represent you is that there are certain things we need to be strategic about. And so less is more. When you go over there, stick to the details of the house. That's it. Everything else, just say, we'll talk to Monica.
All right.
That's where I would go with that.
I'm still getting in there, man.
I know you are.
That's not enough.
You're seeing what car they pull up in. I don't know. You're seeing all kinds of stuff.
Well, they'll say stuff.
No, they
Well, I feel like let's go back to our corner, shall we?
I need a moment.
All right. Let's take a short break and hear a word from our sponsor. And when we return, we're going to have the final punches. Da, da, da.
Welcome back. Now, before we ring the bell for the final round, Jen, what are other people saying about this? Did you talk to any other agents?
Yeah, I mean, of course they agree with you. Shocker.
Yeah.
Because most agents are buyer agents.
No, most agents just understand that you don't walk into a courtroom and hire the other side's.
No, you're right. I'm teasing.
I know you are.
I kid.
I know.
Well,
I think, today's one of those. Well, today's one of those examples of, in practice, there is probably a wiser approach. That doesn't mean there aren't advantages to it. And I think that's what sometimes you and I run up against this. Like, we both know there are disadvantages to sending your client into the listing agent's, den, so to speak. I think what this is about today is, if you're going to do it, let's at least have awareness of why that might not be a good idea. What can you do to prep that and all that,
Yeah. I think too, it also depends on who the listing agent is.
For sure.
Because sometimes if you're on multiples, it could be better.
Yeah, because that maybe they connect and they say all the right things. And
like if it were the other way around and you were the listing agent, you're a high I. And that the buyers that I work with are already going to be like qualified and all this stuff, right? So there's no question.
Very true.
It's going to be better if you meet them, especially if I think you'll like them.
You're right.
Subconsciously, it will be better. Because you'll be like, oh, I met these people. They're so cute. Blah, 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 blah.
I really like them. They
have a great family. They told me their story, like whatever it is.
Yes. They're just like you guys. They kind of raise their kids. Like, exactly. You're going to love them.
Just leave the pictures.
Yeah.
They look just like you. Oh, jeez. That sounds like a violation of some kind.
It could be, but sometimes it works. All right. I don't know. What do you think? Is that going to have to be the end of today's battle?
I think that's the end. I like your tips on what to say to the buyer if that has to happen, right? Yeah. I like those.
Making them aware that it's not a safe zone completely.
Well, and those tips can be used for open houses too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So don't show all your cards. Mm-hmm. There is strategy to this game for sure.
Yeah. And as the listing agent, I would strongly encourage to go ahead and
show
the buyer's agent's clients.
Oh, if you're a listing agent, you get that call.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'll meet them over there.
Yep, I'll be there, and I'm already here.
Yep. I do like the spirit of it. When you've got a listing and I need somebody and I have to see it and I can't. I love that. Because of a network and a friendship and whatever, I can say, hey, would you meet these guys over there? And I can feel confident about that. I think that's one of the real advantages to being in the business a long time and working really hard to get to know agents and having a good relationship with them through deals, because you're going to see them again.
Yeah. Well, and too, like, that's what I was saying too. It does depend on the agent. So like, if you know the agent, I'm going to be like, Monica, thank you for doing this, but I need you to not try to get anything out of them.
Yeah, you stay in your lane.
Keep your lips closed.
Yeah, you stay in the car. Open the door. All I need you to do is open the door.
Just open the door.
Right. All right, guys. How do you feel about this topic? Do you side with me, the right side of the question, or are you on Jen's side? Like, give me the buyers. Go to our Facebook page. That's Toe2Toe Podcast page, and let us know, comment, vote.
Yeah. And if you have any ideas for what you want us to battle about, please go there as well, or send me a text 513-400-1691. And of course, if you're interested in learning more about EXP, you can text me as well. Well, thanks, Monica.
It was a pleasure as always.
Always. Hey, actually, Monica.
What?
We're doing a name change.
Oh, should we tell them?
Yeah, that's this episode.
This episode?
Yes.
Well, it's going to be next one because we already did this one as Toe2Toe.
All right, fine. Next one.
It starts on 67. Hey guys, teaser. Big teaser. Changing the name of Toe to Toe. The graphics are going to look the same, so you'll be able to find it with your eye. It'll look the same, but we've got a better name.
Boom, boom. Get it.
Tune in next time for the name change.
All right. Bye, Monica.
All right. Bye.